come back to life. It was perfect. If he'd only waited one day, people wouldn't even heard that he died. They'd be like, oh, hey Jesus, what up? He'd just be like, what up? I died yesterday. And they'd be like, oh, you look pretty alive to me, dude. And he'd be like, you have to go and explain how he was died, and he was resurrected, and it was a miracle. And he'd be like, okay, whatever you say, dude. Got it, bro. And he's not gonna come back on a Saturday. Everybody's busy doing chores, working the loom, trimming the beard. No, he waited the perfect number of days. 3. Plus it's a Sunday, so everybody's already in church. And they're all like, oh no, Jesus died. And then bam, he runs in, everyone's totally psyched, they're going nuts. FYI, that's where Jesus invented the high five. That's why we wait 3 days to call a woman. That's what Jesus wants us to do. Barney Stinson.
To my mind, the greatest reward and luxury of travel is to be able to experience everyday things as if for the first time. To be in a position in which almost nothing is so familiar, it is taken for granted. Bill Bryson.
La libertad, Sancho, es uno de los más preciosos dones que los hombres dieron los cielos. Con ella no pueden igualarse los tesoros que encierran la tierra y el mar. Por la libertad, así como por la honra, se puede y se debe aventurar. In other words, liberty, Sancho, is one of the most precious gifts that heaven has bestowed upon mankind. All of the treasures the earth contains in its bosom or the ocean, within its depths, cannot be compared with it. For liberty, as well as honor, man ought to even risk his life, and he should reckon the captivity even life can bring. Cervantes, Don Quixote.
Hello. Thank you all for coming here today. My name is Fred So, a sixth form boarder from Seoul, South Korea. On opening day, many of you approached me with a warm greeting. Something along the lines of, oh, you must be a new student here, or are you PG? In truth, I'm a returning student who has attended WESI since my 3rd form year. Last year, however, through a program called SYA, School Year Abroad, I spent my junior year in Spain. It all started here in Warner Centennial, when a representative came up on stage to promote the program. She emphasized the limitless opportunities a student would encounter, such as exploring a new culture, mastering the target language, and broadening his or her perspectives in a different environment. The thought going through my head was, so I can escape the most difficult year of my high school career and go travel around cool European cities? So I said, sure, why not? Go out there for an adventure and see what Europe offers me that Simsbury doesn't. I can tell you now that even if you don't go through a life-changing experience or have some epiphany of finding your identity, you'll still come back with some pretty awesome stories to impress your friends with. Here's my first anecdote. You're in Barcelona for the weekend, traveling with your friends, and strolling around the Gothic quarter at night. You pass a beautiful cathedral by Gaudi at a large square, one that you walk by this afternoon when the flea market is out, filled with typical tourists who wear too much sunscreen and carry those absurd fanny packs around their waists. The square is more peaceful now, with the stars presenting a background beyond the cathedral as you look up into the dark skyline. Now, you walk into the narrow streets made of stone, where brightly lit gift shops and fancy restaurants decorate your surroundings. Out of nowhere, though, comes a shady guy in his mid-20s wearing a puffy brown jacket. He approaches you and your friends, trying to sell a fun night at his bar or club. Being underage, naturally, you politely decline and try to keep walking. His relentless marketing strategy, acquired with years of experience out on the streets, means he won't give up easily, and he continues to persuade your buddy with his broken English. That's when you notice him continually leaning into your friend, and you think perhaps for a second, this can't be one of those pickpocketing scenarios, could it? As your wonderful host shakes your hand and slowly peels away, your friend looks up with wide eyes and says, wait guys, my phone. So, pickpocketing is something most of us hear about, not experience firsthand. I can tell you that once you realize your valuables are missing, your mind just goes blank. All 5 of us momentarily share this feeling for about 2 seconds, but we snapped out of it because we realized we had to act fast if we were going to retrieve his phone. We confronted our suspect before he could make his way down an empty alley, and using our numbers, we blocked his path by forming a human wall. At first, we tried to resolve the situation out in Spanish. By now, we're halfway through the school year, and we're thinking, wow, if we were able to win over this argument with his own native language, imagine how proud our teachers would be. However, he aggressively denies our accusations and even tells us to check his pockets. And none of us have the experience of expertly patting down someone. Like, I'm afraid if I touch the wrong place, he's going to swing at me. But then our most trustworthy leader starts yelling at him in English. Where's his phone, man? He just had it. After about 10 minutes of fidgeting, he realized he wasn't going to talk his way out in English. He reached into his pocket and, like magic, revealed the lost phone in his hand. All of us were left dumbfounded. Somehow, our quick thinking outmaneuvered his sleight of hand and won back our friend's phone. This story represents only one of the many episodes I witnessed during my time in Spain. Many of these memories will last forever, but to capture the other priceless moments, I found it best to record my experiences with my camera. By chance, I was assigned to make a video for our school trip to Extremadura. The 70 SY students were divided into 3 groups, and while the other 2 groups were lucky enough to travel to the rich regions of the north and the south of Spain, our group was shipped out to the far west, known as the boring autonomous community, known for its goat cheese and endless rustic scenery. This only motivated me more. I wanted to show others that our trip was in fact the best. With the GoPro stuck to my face, I went out to hunt for the best angles and shots of Roman theaters, aqueducts, churches, as well as every little humorous episode along the way. Presenting my movie at assembly and seeing the reactions of my peers was the first time I felt the satisfaction of making film. Later, I invested in a camcorder and came across more opportunities to make movies, whether on school trips, independent travels, or even documentaries for class. One of my favorites is about the Camino de Santiago, a sacred pilgrimage across northern Spain that stretches for about 800 kilometers. My 3 friends and I decided to take advantage of our stay in Spain and try it out for fun. Most people do this well into their adulthood when they face a midlife crisis or are looking for a physical challenge while they're in their peak fitness. Needless to say, we did not encounter another teenage soul on the trail. We hiked about 100 kilometers in 4 days over spring break. Marching across the green pastures day to day, we made friends with fellow pilgrims from around the world and farm animals that were from, well, Spain. When the weather got rough, we made makeshift ponchos with trash bags by punching holes through with our own. Arriving at Santiago de Compostela, the church which represents the final destination, it was a bit weird having this subtle, spiritual satisfaction because we were only on the trail for 4 days, while others take up to 3 weeks to complete it. But it was definitely something out of the ordinary, and it felt rewarding altogether. Other videos include skiing in the Pyrenees, a 5-day exchange program in Cordoba, and also my very first scuba diving experience, which accompanied an end-of-the-year research paper while traveling around the southern coast of Spain. I know, this doesn't sound like your typical junior year finals. Recently, over summer break, I had the chance to apply my talents in film in a more professional environment. Working with a shirt company started by a close friend of mine, I made a promotional video for his Kickstarter campaign. You've already seen some of the designs today, but could our model stand up once more for the audience? Okay, relatable. Okay, shirts. You're also probably wondering what exactly is this company and why should you care? Don't worry, I think I'll let the video do most of the talking. So, without further ado, here is Pacific Peak.
Taking advantage of the outdoors and reaping the benefits that come along with our planet. Everyone has a place where they feel free. Liberty to do whatever makes them feel alive. Mother Nature provides us with limitless opportunities. A simple hike in the mountains for some, or an adventurous sport for others. The world we live in today is something we can never take for granted. It's hard to imagine a world without these privileges, but it's a possible reality we are facing. Due to the mistreatment of Earth, our fate as humans hangs in the balance. We have to get back to the planet that has provided us with so much love. For that, doing this will help reverse the effects of climate change. At Pacific Peak, we hope to change the way teenagers view environmental issues. By selling our apparel in schools worldwide, we are able to connect to those who embrace athletics, recreational activities, and the outdoors. We are an entirely student-run organization, and all of our profits are directed towards local community service projects and donations to environmental charities. Our new collection, made completely from recycled material, marks a new step forward. We partner with Recover Brands, an organization that produces eco-friendly apparel, to develop 2 new versatile shirts. They are made with recycled plastic bottles and reused cotton from the discarded scraps of factories. Our shirts, produced the highest quality with 100% recycled materials, are designed for the conscientious consumer. At the forefront of this trend, we firmly believe that our actions and efforts will not only spread the right message to teenagers, but serve as a role model for the entire clothing industry. You are not representing a specific brand, logo, or demographic when you wear Pacific Peak. You are representing a movement that will one day reshape the way teenagers view environmental issues. Join the fight against climate change and support us, one donation at a time.
As you can see, Pacific Peak is an organization that focuses on bringing awareness and support to environmental causes. By wearing our apparel, I believe it's an easy way for our generation to contribute. I want to show you our website, pacificpeakco.com, as well as our Kickstarter page, which launched earlier this week. Last year, the company made about $10,000 in sales, mainly around schools in New England. Our current goal is to raise enough money to have a mass production and bring this movement to a larger audience. I convinced my friend that Westminster would join as a member school along with other prep schools, and he gave us a small discount. The most popular black shirt will be priced at $25 instead of $28, and all other original shirts will be either $20 or $25 as well. Our newest collection, however, is exclusively sold on the Kickstarter page, which are rewarded through pledges of $30 or more. I will send out an email form for those who are interested in ordering after chapel, but it would be even greater if you guys would back the project directly from Kickstarter. I hope you will consider joining this movement because each donation truly counts. Thank you for Pacific Peak. My second and last video encompasses the 9-month journey I went on in Spain. I'm sure this is what most of you have been waiting for. I know several of my peers were puzzled about what I exactly did last year, whether I was even going to school or just vacationing. First, I have to recognize SYA for the opportunities it granted me this past year. I met some of my best friends there, friends I had the chance to share my first traveling experiences within Europe. I took in a completely foreign culture that is part of me now, and I can't go a day without taking a midday siesta, which is nap in Spanish. I had a Spanish host family adopt me into their household, and now I have 3 more older siblings who I can call hermano y hermana. Lastly, I discovered a new passion for video making that I had never known about. I earnestly recommend the program to you all, and even more the prospect of studying abroad, whether it's now or in college. Take the risk and venture out to somewhere out of your comfort zone. You'll be surprised what you can learn in just a year. It will be scary at first and a little hard to adjust. You may run into those sneaky thieves who have an eye out for your wallets and phones, or a couple of Romanian prostitutes on the streets of Madrid. But that's a story for another time. For those of you who have any questions about SYA, please feel free to ask me. Don't make the same mistake I did. Sophomore years, I was too afraid to talk to this girl named Susie Black, who was a 6th former, who had just returned from Spain. Thank you for your attention, and please enjoy the video.
Hola, me llamo Fred. He pasado el año pasado en España y quiero compartir mis experiencias. España para mí es